Hey everyone, it's Adriana from Adriana's Paper Crafts. I'm going to show you guys how to assemble a Swisher Sweets cigarillo custom wrapper today. I do have a free template up on my website, so if you want to work with that one, I would suggest to go ahead and go and download that. That is the template that I'm working with today. I did not decorate this template in any way, just like my Rice Krispie assembly tutorial. I'm just going to show you guys how it is that I put it together. There are two different ways that I kind of like depending on my mood of that day. So I'm going to do two different ones and you guys can just choose whichever way it is that you want to do it. Now, with my cigarillo wrappers, I do make them resealable, but you do not have to. But you're going to see me do that today. So, step number one, print your template. Step number two, cut out your template. So, this is what it used to look like. This is what it is cut out now. I used a paper trimmer, but you can use scissors. I just like a paper trimmer because it's faster. So, way number one to assemble your wrapper is to simply fold it on that center line. Alright, so it will look like this. And then from there, all you have to do is add your adhesive. I normally use hot glue, but what I have been liking to do is actually now I like to use my double-sided adhesive strips. If you're the one that's providing the cigarillos, then you can go ahead and stick them in there and then glue every side. However, if you're only selling the wrappers or you're sending off the wrappers, you will need to make sure that the top is not closed so that your customer can put the cigarillos in there. So in order to do that, just like the chip bags for my chip bag video, you would use double-sided adhesive tape. You would put it right at the top here and then just leave it there. But you would glue this side and you're going to glue the bottom. That way when your customer gets it, the only side that's open is the top. They'll stick their item in there and then they will peel off that double-sided adhesive strip and voila, they're done. So that's one way to do it. And it's really, really easy. Like you can see, I mean, it took no time at all. However, I make mine resealable and I always use glossy brochure paper, specifically the Office Depot brand because it's 50 pound. It's nice and heavy, and because it's glossy, it resembles the actual cigarillo wrapper from the store. So I think it's really, really cool. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out and then show you guys how the second way to do it. Alright, so this is cut out just like the first one. The only difference is that instead of folding it in half, I'm going to actually cut down that middle line. Okay? So now you're going to end up with two pieces. So then what you're going to do from there is, if you want to make it resealable, is when you're going to get your little sandwich baggie, because you need this top part here. This bag I got from Walmart. It's actually the Walmart brand, but you can use any zipper type thing that you want. I love to use this though because it gives the cigarillo wrappers a really authentic feel to it. So I've noticed that my customers like it when they do that. Now you want to make sure that when you cut however much of the zipper that you need, you're not measuring completely from one side to the other, because then where's your adhesive going to go when it closes, when you seal both of your sides together, am I right? So you're going to need to go ahead and cut it a little less wide than this sheet of paper in order to leave space for glue on this side and on this side. Alright, so now on these little zipper things, the bottom part here is the actual zipper. The rest is just like flap. I do like to keep the flap so that when my customer goes to open the cigarillo wrapper, it's not difficult because you've got like this extra, you know, plastic to it. So I've just noticed that when I cut it shorter, it's really difficult to open, and in some cases I think I've even ripped my packet. So I go ahead and keep this whole little top part. And then how I stick it on is I use my double-sided adhesive. This is my thin double-sided adhesive. I normally use a thicker one, but I'm not sure where it is at the moment. So we're going to use my thin one. It's no worries. I'll probably just do 2 rows. And you're going to go ahead and put it all over this. Alright, once you've got double-sided adhesive tape on both sides of your little zipper, you're going to go ahead and stick it right in the center of the inside, of course, of your package. You want to go ahead and line it up right at the very top of your package, okay? Just like that. You want to make sure that there's still some space on either side because you still have to glue this sheet to your other sheet. Now that I have it stuck to one side, you can go ahead and line up your other sheet and you're going to stick them together. Once you've stuck them together, make sure to really press in there to make sure that that tape really melts into the paper. And then also what you can do at this point in time before you start gluing anything else is to use your paper crimper to crimp the bottom and top if you want to. You don't have to. Alright, so from there, what I go back and forth with is I normally either use my hot glue gun with my really small tip. So you can see this one has a really skinny tip to it. I will either use that hot glue gun to glue the sides, the bottom, and the other side. Or what I did the last time is I used this double-sided adhesive tape, but I actually cut even this in half, just so that it was very narrow of adhesive on the sides. So you can do it either way. This one, doing it this way is much more tedious, but I find that I like the natural thinness to it. Whereas if you use hot glue, you run the risk of the hot glue getting everywhere, oozing out, and also just becoming very thick and, you know, leaving your edges looking really thick. So I would say to definitely just kind of use both techniques, you know, or even a different technique if you want, just to see what you prefer. If you're using matte paper instead of glossy, heavy paper, you can even use wet glue if you want to. Because matte paper will stick much better with wet glue than if you were to use heavy brochure glossy paper. Wet glue is not going to stick well to that. So, but yeah. And then the reason I do mine this way, even though it's much more tedious, it's kind of a pain in the butt, I'm not going to lie. I like doing it this way because the finished product looks so similar to a real Swisher Sweets wrapper. You know, when I've compared them, I've had them next to each other and I compared it and I just loved it because it literally looks like it's a real wrapper, except it's customized to have like my customer's picture on it, you know. So you can do it either way. This one is super fast. You want to just knock them out of the park, go ahead and do it. And you would only have to glue the bottom and this one side here, the very edge. And then you would squeeze it together. And then, like I said, if you want, you can put a zipper here or just put a piece of double-sided adhesive tape for your customer to be able to close it later. Super fast way, much more realistic way. So let me know which way you prefer in the comments down below. If you haven't seen the pictures of my custom Swisher Sweets wrappers, I suggest go to my Instagram, Facebook if you want, and I have them up there and you'll be able to see they look really realistic. My customers love them. So, you know. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.